Hello everyone, this is Sana Kulkarni. Again today we are going to discuss the continued part of the moving charges and magnetism in this fourth session. So first of all, in this session we are going to discuss the very important concept in this chapter, that is a Biot-Savart law, or generally we can call it as it is a Laplace law. Surely you are getting the 5-mark question based on this chapter, means based on this concept. So what is a Biot-Savart law? So Biot-Savart's law that will gives the magnetic field dB which is at a point due to the current element. So Biot-Savart law, again it will gives us the regarding the magnetic field. Generally magnetic field in earlier cases we have wrote it as it is B, but here we have taken it as a dB. What is the reason? I will tell you. At a point due to the current element. Okay. So current element is nothing but it is the product of current as well as a length dl of a very small segment of current carrying wire, and it is a vector and it will be represented by I dl. Dl, it is in the form of vector. So why we are used here the dB? dB means it is a very small amount of magnetic field, because we are, that means Biot-Savart law it will says that the magnetic field which is at a further point, which is at a point which is far away from the object. So which is far away from the object means automatically the magnetic field goes on decreases. So therefore we can take it as dB, that is a small amount of magnetic field with the help of the current element. Current element is nothing but it is the product of current as well as a very small segment of the wire, that is dl, a small segment of the length of dl of a current carrying wire we have taken. So this is regarding the current element. Then the Biot-Savart law that will states that in this case the magnetic field at a point due to the current element, that current element is I into dl, that is first one which is directly proportional to the strength of the current, which is directly proportional to the length of the current element. Similarly, it is directly proportional to the sine of the angle between the line joining between the point of observation with the current element, and it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance r from the point of the current element. So whenever just you understand this in the form of equation first, then you can understand with the help of a theory. So the law states that is in this case the magnetic field which is acting at a point with the help of the current element, that is I dl, that must be, it is directly proportional to the strength of the current. Strength of the current we can write it as it is I. Similarly, it is directly proportional to the length of the current element. Length of the current element it will be written as a dl, and directly proportional to the sine of the angle between the current element as well as the line joining the current element as well as the point, and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the point and the current element. So this statement we can write it in the form of equation now. In the just diagram you can observe here the xy is a one current carrying conductor. So in this P, the point P, in that point only we have to calculate what is the magnetic field at a point due to the current element. So current element we have taken it as AB. AB is a very small segment of a length in that the current is there, current I is also moving, as well as the dl, the length is also there. Now if dB it is a magnetic field at a point P due to the current element or the current carrying in AB, then we can write it as our equation that dB, the magnetic field at a point P due to the current element, that is directly proportional to, the statement says first one, it is directly proportional to the strength of the current. So strength of the current is I. Similarly, it is directly proportional to the length of the current element. Length of the current element is dl, and similarly it will say it is the angle, it is directly proportional to the angle between the point as well as the line joining the current element. Here the theta angle, just you observe in the diagram, this angle is the angle between the point P as well as the current element AB. So, our magnetic field at a point P, which is directly proportional to the strength of the current, that is I, length of the current element dl. Similarly, sine of the angle between the current element as well as the point P. Similarly, it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the point as well as the current element. So, r square, that is the square of the distance between point P as well as the current element. So, you have to remember this definition by this equation, that is dB is directly proportional to I dl sin theta divided by r square. So, once you remembered with this, you can state it as in the form of pointwise. So, that is dB is nothing but what? It is the current element, sorry, dB is nothing but it is a magnetic field at a point due to the current element, and that dB is directly proportional to the strength of the current I as well as the length of the current element dl as well as the sine of the angle between the line joining between the current element as well as the point P, and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the point as well as the current element. Next, or we can say this dB is equal to k into I dl sin theta divided by r square, where this k is a constant and that constant k value will be given by, it is mu naught by 4 pi, that must be equal to 10 to the power of minus 7, where mu naught is equal to 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7 Tesla meter per ampere, and it is called as, this mu naught is called as absolute permeability of free space or vacuum. Already in first chapter you have studied regarding epsilon naught. Epsilon naught is an absolute permittivity, but in this case we are going to discuss regarding, this is a mu naught, and this mu naught is called as absolute permeability of a free space, or we can say it is vacuum. Permeability means it is a capacity of a substance or a medium to have a magnetization in the presence of magnetic field. So, it has to get a magnetization in presence of certain magnetic field. So, that we can call it as, means it is having certain capacity of that. Therefore, it is called as absolute permeability of free space, that is mu naught. Do not get confused with mu naught and epsilon naught. Epsilon naught is a permittivity, mu naught is an permeability. Okay. Therefore, the dB value we can written it as, substitute the k value as mu naught by 4 pi I dl sin theta divided by r square, and I call this as equation number 1. So, in vector form, this Biot-Savart law that can be written as, how to write this in form of vector. So, if we consider the length of the element as a dl at a distance of p as a displacement vector, that is a vector r, and a unit vector along AP, that will be given by r cap, then we can write it as our dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl cross r cap, that is nothing but I dl sin theta itself, divided by r square, because dl cross r cap, that will gives you dl sin theta. Cross means it is a sin theta, so it is a dl sin theta, but therefore dB is equal to, we can write it as, it is mu naught by 4 pi I dl vector r divided by r square bar r. How it comes means, a vector r means we can write it as, it is magnitude as well as direction. So, vector r magnitude is r, direction is a unit vector, we can write it here, it is an r cap. Therefore, with the help of this, what is our r cap value? R cap is equal to vector r by r. So, we have substituted the r cap value over there. Therefore, we got it as dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl, r cap is replaced by vector r by r, divided by r square again. Therefore, dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl into vector r divided by r cube. So, this is what we can call it as, it is equation number 2, and this is the equation, we can say it as in the vector form of Biot-Savart law. And if theta is equal to 0, magnetic field at a point is also equal to 0, because sin 0 is 0, then the magnetic field at a point will becomes 0. So this is regarding Biot-Savart law, very important concept. And next we will discuss regarding the magnetic field at a point on the axis of circular loop carrying current. It is a sure question for 5 marks. The derivation is very important and it is sure question for 5 marks, that is magnetic field at a point on the axis of circular loop carrying current. So just to observe the diagram clearly here. In this case, we have considered one circular loop of radius r which is carrying a current I, and let P be a point which is at a distance x from the center O of the loop, that is a circular loop, on the axis that is shown in the figure. Similarly, AB as well as A dash B dash, these two are diametrically opposite current elements. Already in last case only we have discussed regarding the current element. So in this case what happens, the circular loop which is having a radius r, that will be carrying current I, and we have to take a current element. That current element we have taken here the two sides, one is AB as well as A dash B dash. That AB is nothing but a small segment of the current element, that is DL. So current element of length DL. And similarly the distance of point P from the current elements. So the point P which is at a distance from the current element, that distance we can write it as it is A. So understand this. So consider one circular loop of radius r and which is carrying the current I. Similarly, let P be a point, at a certain point only we are going to calculate. So P be a point at a distance x from the center of the circle or the circular loop, which is as shown in the figure, and AB as well as A dash B dash, these are the diametrically opposite current elements of length DL, and the distance from point P from these current elements, that we can take in as A. Now from figure we can write it as, apply the Pythagoras theorem, the right angle triangle we got here, that AB is nothing but here 90 degree, angle will be made it as 90 degree. So according to the Pythagoras theorem we can write it as it is A square is equal to R square plus X square, or we can write it as it is A is equal to R square plus X square raised to 1 by 2, sorry 1 by 2 were missing there, and sin alpha is equal to R by A, sin alpha. So just to observe the sin theta is nothing but opposite side divided by hypotenuse. So sin alpha is equal to opposite side is R, hypotenuse is A. Just to make the correction that from a figure A is equal to R square plus X square raised to, it is 1 by 2 must be there, because according to Pythagoras theorem it is A square is equal to R square plus X square, but A is equal to, it is under root A R square plus X square, or we can write it as it is A is equal to R square plus X square raised to 1 by 2. Now according to the Biot-Savart law, the magnetic field at a point P due to the current element AB, that will be given by dB is equal to, according to the definition, that dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl sin theta divided by R square must be there. R square is nothing but it is a distance of point P to the current element. But in this case, in this diagram, we have taken the distance is A. Therefore, mu naught by 4 pi I dl sin theta divided by A square we have taken. This must be equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl sin theta, that theta is nothing but the 90 degree here, both are acting perpendicular. So sin 90 divided by A square. Therefore, we got it as it is mu naught by 4 pi I dl by A square, and this will be acting along PM direction. Once again you go through the diagram and observe that PM. So because of one current element AB, we got it as magnetic field as mu naught by 4 pi I dl by A square, and that will be acting along PM direction. Similarly, one more current element we have taken, that is A dash B dash, that is Similarly, the magnetic field due to the current element A dash B dash at a point P, that will be given by same again, that is dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl sin theta divided by a square. Again theta is a 90 degree. So we are getting dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl by a square, but this is along the direction of Pn, along Pn direction. Okay. Next, now the magnetic field dB that can be resolved, or dB along Pm as well as along Pn, that can be resolved into the two components. So how these two components means, dB cos alpha, already in first PUC we have studied regarding the resolution of vector. So based on that resolution we have taken here the dB cos alpha which is acting along Py, and similarly dB sin alpha which is acting along the Px direction. So just once again we'll go through the diagram here. In the diagram just you observe dB cos alpha which is moving along Py, as well as dB sin alpha which is along the Px direction, means the magnetic field along Pm that will be resolved into the two components. Just to remember regarding the projectile motion, projectile also we have resolved into the two components, u cos theta as well as u. There we have taken it as velocity as u. Here magnetic field dB only we are going to resolve. So instead of cos theta, that is cos alpha is taken. So dB cos alpha along Py and dB sin alpha along Px. So this is what we got. Next, similarly magnetic field dB along Pn, that also resolved, that must be, it is dB cos alpha along Py dash and dB sin alpha along Px. Then the components which are along Py and Py dash, just to observe, along Py it is a dB cos alpha and along Py dash also it is dB cos alpha. Both are cancel each other because both are equal and both are acting in an opposite direction. So both are cancelled to each other because they are equal and opposite. Hence the net magnetic field at a point P due to the diametrically opposite current elements, that is AB and A dash B dash, that is nothing but the sum of the dB sin alpha along x-axis itself. Along y and y dash axis that will get cancelled. So overall net magnetic field at a point P that will be acting, which is remained, is along x and x-axis itself. That x-axis we can write it as, it is dB sin alpha plus dB sin alpha plus dB sin alpha, we are getting it as 2 dB sin alpha, and which is acting along the x-axis. And the circular loop, now this is only for the two current elements, one is AB and another one is A dash B dash. So the entire circular loop which is made up of so many current elements, the circular loop which is made up of large number of such pair of current elements which are diametrically opposite, then for each such pair the resultant magnetic field at a point due to the circular loop, that will be given by B is equal to, that is summation of 2 dB sin alpha, and this summation we have to take it for only the half of the round loop. Why we are taking the summation only half of the loop means, the AB and A dash B dash are diametrically opposite. Once that AB moves certain distance, automatically A dash B dash is also moves in certain distance, and both are opposite to each other. So once that AB covered half of the distance, automatically A dash B dash will also cover the another half of the distance. So only the summation will be taken for the half of the circular loop. Remaining half it will be covered automatically. The summation is taken half of the round loop. Therefore B is equal to summation 2, it is summation 2 as it is, and we have to substitute the values, that is mu naught by 4 pi, that is 2 dB sin alpha we got. That from that 2 dB sin alpha, the equation we are getting it as summation 2, instead of dB already we got the dB value, that is mu naught by 4 pi I dl by a square, and sin theta, that sin theta value already in first case only we told it is r by a. So all the values we have substituted here. Therefore, we got it as it is mu naught by 4 pi. This is 2I r divided by a cube. Only the summation is taken for the dl. Rest of the terms are constant. Just you observe, mu naught by 4 pi is constant. Current through the entire conductor is constant. Only a square, that radius, the distance between the point as well as the current element remains constant. Radius is also constant. Only the summation, only the changing concept is what? The small length. That length only we are taking for entire circular loop. Therefore, the summation is only for the dl purpose. So, rest of the terms we have taken out from the summation. That is mu naught by 4 pi 2I r by a cube into summation dl. But summation dl, we have to take it for only half of the circular loop. Entire circular loop means it is 2 pi r, but half of that will be divided by 2. Therefore, we are getting it as pi r for the circular loop. Then you substitute the value of dl in the above equation. B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2I r by divided by a cube. Summation dl will be replaced by pi r. Therefore, B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2 pi I r square divided by, just we have substituted the a value there, and a value already we have taken it as r square plus x square raised to 1 by 2. So, that is r square plus x square, the whole cube it is, therefore, it is r square plus x square raised to 3 by 2, which is acting along px. Therefore, B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2 pi I r square divided by r square plus x square raised to 3 by 2, which is acting along px. So, in vector form also we can write it as it is. B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2 pi I r square divided by r square plus x square raised to 3 by 2 into I cap. Why we have taken I cap means which is acting along px, along x axis. Along x axis the unit vector will be taken as I cap. So, this is what the vector form we can write this equation. Special cases, when x equal to 0, that is the center of the loop, then the magnetic field, that B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2 pi I r square divided by r square plus x square must be there, but x itself is a 0 raised to 3 by 2. Therefore, we are getting it as mu naught by 4 pi 2 pi I r square divided by r cube, that must be equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2 pi I divided by r. So, this is what when x equal to 0 condition, means this magnetic field is perpendicular to the plane of the loop along its axis. Then the magnetic field at the center of the loop is maximum and decreases along the axis on either side as the distance of the centers increases. For the circular coil having n number of turns, then the magnetic field along the axis at a distance x from the center, that will be given by B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2 pi n I r square divided by r square plus x square raised to 3 by 2. So, earlier equation is only for one number of turn. If it contains n number of turns, just you add only n over there. Then, so this is our equation, that is B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2 pi I n I r square divided by r square plus x square raised to 3 by 2. And magnetic field at its center, that will be given by B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2 pi n I divided by r. So, this is regarding the magnetic field that is at a point due to the circular loop carrying current. It is a very important derivation, just go through it and try it.